Hello all. So in this continuation of our previous session, we just go and say about the kinematic pairs and as well as the kinematic chain. So generally this kinematic pairs and kinematic chain, which has been associated with our previous class, which has been what it has been taught like types of kinematic links, how the mechanism has been handled, what are the kind of mechanisms are there. So like in this regard, we just seen about the another important topic, that is what do you call that kinematic pair and as well as the kinematic chain. So here this kinematic pair, which has been divided into two categories, one is called closed pair, another one is called unclosed pair. Closed pair means it takes place only inside the surface. Example, the piston and the cylinder is a good example for closed pair. Wherever in case of unclosed pair, here let us take the cam and the follower are a very good example for the unclosed pair which has in open physical contact. So generally this kind of kinematic pairs and kinematic chain which has some kind of restricted motion, for example it having a completely constrained motion and also it having successfully constrained motion, and it is called the incompletely constrained motion. So when it is called it as a successfully constrained and completely constrained and as well as incompletely constrained, based upon the three categories. The first one, if it is a completely constrained, it has been restricted to the only in definite direction. If it is in successfully constrained, it has been restricted but it has been controlled. That is what we call that successfully constrained. But in this case of incompletely constrained, the constraint will take place but more than two different kind of directions. That is what you call that incompletely constrained. So how can we determine whether the given kinematics or whether the given mechanisms having a kinematic chain or not? Based upon by using these two relation. One is called link is equal to 2p minus 4 and joints j is equal to 3 by 2l minus 2. With the help of these two relation, we can determine what kind of link it is. For example, whether it belongs to ternary, binary or quaternary link, or otherwise how many joints it have, how many kinematic pairs it have, how many kind of kinematic links are there. Based upon these two relation, we can easily determine that. And also we know that kinematic chain is nothing but it is the combination of kinematic pairs. It is a combination of many different kind of kinematic pairs. So using this relation to determine what kind of kinematic chain it is. Generally the kinematic chain has been classified into three different categories. Let us take here L is equal to 2p minus 4. Okay, so here P represents it is the number of lower pairs, and J represents it is the number of binary joints. L represents it is about the number of links, which means which is used to transfer the motion from one link to the other. That is what we call that number of links and number of binary joints are there. And similarly P represents it is a number of lower pairs. So what do you call that lower pairs means? Generally lower pairs is nothing but when there is a surface contact takes place. That is what you call that lower pair, which means it like a line contact. Suppose when there is a contact takes place but not in terms of line, but instead it can make a contact in terms of point. Okay, the one surface which makes a contact with the other in terms of point, that is what you call that higher pair. Example, wheel on the road. If you drive a vehicle, okay, the over the entire shape of the wheel, only one point will make a contact with the road. That is what we call that higher point of contact. In case if it is a lower pair of contact, which means it have making a surface contact like the piston and the cylinder, in between we having a contact likes to each other. So this contact which makes like a surface contact, that is what you call that it is a lower pair. Suppose if you take a case the wheel on the road, which means it can takes like a higher pair of contact. So that is what it has been described, that kind of kinematic chain, and we have seen about their lower pair and as well as the higher pair in terms of vehicles and also in terms of mechanisms. So with this I just close the session, and thank you so much.